FightHype.com here with the legendary Hall of Fame promoter Bob Arum. Bob, back in Tokyo, what do you think about, as you said before, the change of opponent? You've seen it happen before. Is it always a bit of a concern when there's sort of a last-minute opponent with nothing to lose?
Of course it is, because not only is the fighter coming in someone that nobody anticipated, but the champion also hasn't prepared for the fighter that he's going to fight, because Kim's style is different from Goodman's style, and Inoue has been training to fight Goodman. So it's an adjustment that he has to be made on the run.
As we said, given past his fight, would you like to see him move up in a way if he's successful, or stay and defend his titles?
Well, I'd like him to stay and defend his titles at least for the balance of the year. And then 2026, we'll see what that brings. Maybe the time to go up in weight will be next year. But again, he has a very, very good promoter, Hashi-san, and he'll determine when Inoue is best to go up in weight.
We've got Better Bivol rematch in Riyadh on the 22nd of February. Obviously, it was a great fight. The first one was a close fight. How do you see that fight going in the rematch?
Well, again, these two guys are very, very good, competent light heavyweights. I like my guy's chances. My guy is Better but it can go either way. It was a very close fight, as you said, the first time they fought. I don't think it will be a walkover this time. I think it'll be a close fight.
Also, what do you think of Tyson Fury's recent announcement of retirement after the Usyk fight? I thought he was unlucky in both fights, but do you think he's serious about retirement, or possibly just weighing up his options for a potential fight with Joshua?
Well, I think when he said he was retired, that he was serious. Now, that doesn't mean that his mental, the way he figures things out, will be the same next month or in 3 or 4 months. He might change his mind. But I certainly believe that when he said that he was retired, he meant it.
A few big fights coming up soon. Beterbiev Morrell. How do you see that one going, Bob?
Oh, Benavidez.
Yeah, versus Morrell.
I love Benavidez. I think Benavidez is probably the best 168-pound fighter, and that includes Canelo. I think Benavidez is a real talent. His opponent is very, very good, but I certainly like Benavidez in the fight.
Speaking of Canelo, one of your long-time fighters for many, many years, Terence Bud Crawford, it looks like it might be happening. How do you give Bud's chances against Canelo? Can he shock the world and become the three-division undisputed champion?
Well, I wouldn't count Crawford out in any fight, because Crawford has a unique talent. He's a great boxer-puncher, and he is totally ambidextrous. So he drives his opponent crazy, because the opponent trains to fight a right-handed fighter and ends up fighting a southpaw. And that's what happened to what's his name?
Errol?
Errol,
yeah.
Errol
Spence.
And Spence trained to fight a right-handed fighter, and all he saw was a southpaw fight.
I believe he's a live dog in that fight. I believe he can upset the world. I'm going to say it's a Sugar Ray Leonard Hagler type thing. I think he can go up and shock the world, but I guess we'll see,
Well, maybe, I think what Crawford is looking for is was Manny Pacquiao De La Hoya fight.
True, that's a good one. You was part of that. You've been part of so many. A few standouts. I mean, Ray Leonard, Hearns, Hagler, Duran. You've been part of them all. I mean, I guess it's hard to pick any personal favourites, I guess, Bob.
Well, those four guys were personal. I said were because Marvin's passed on.
Yeah, God bless.
But the other three guys are around. They're terrific people, great citizens, and they were tremendous fighters.
One more before we go. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia rematch looks possible. They both got fight dates. Interesting fight set by Turkey El Shea. He's got obviously T.O. as well, which obviously I'm not sure if that's happening, obviously. But I mean, what do you think about the possible chance of a Haney Garcia rematch and maybe T.O. in the mix too?
Well, that depends on the money that His Excellency Turkey El Sheikh comes up with. Because the way the market is for pay-per-view, there isn't that much of a market for the fight. So if the kingdom is ready to put up money with really not much hope to get it back, then the fight can happen.
Thanks for your time, Bob. It's always a pleasure, mate. And thanks for everything you've done for boxing over what you said, 30, 40 years. God bless, Bob.